New World is the latest, and as Amazon Game Studios would like you to believe, the only game title to come from the studio. I still remember Crucible. So it's a hero shooter, and all of your childhood favorite characters are here. We got Military Man, Hot Girl, MILF,
Nightmare Fish Monster.
Even if you would like me to forget. It's been a highly anticipated title, considering that the MMO genre has been, well, a little bit stagnant as of late, with really only Final Fantasy XIV and WoW being worth playing at this point. And some people would argue it's only Final Fantasy XIV now. Don't know why I said it like that. So this sets the stage for New World, an action combat MMO taking heavy inspiration from both action and MMO genres. It's trying to blend single-player combat games with MMO conventions. But does that actually work? Because I feel like that's what every MMO that's been coming out lately has been trying to do and failing. Hello there, Walrus here. I have never been huge into the MMO genre, but they have always held a soft spot in my heart. Considering that growing up, I grew up sitting on my dad's lap while he played Star Wars Galaxies. And in many ways, that sparked my love of gaming in general. But it was never until many years later that I actually played an MMO for myself, and I just have never found one that I've just dove into and sunk my teeth into and just really immersed myself into that world. That is until the last round of beta testing for New World. And, oh boy. Did I get stuck into it. Playing nearly 12 hours straight on the first day of release. No, that's not a joke. No, that's not an exaggeration. It was a problem. So obviously I enjoyed it, okay? But I do also have a few concerns for the game moving forward. And I just wanted to go over every impression that I had from the beta, what to expect, what my thoughts were, what I loved, what I didn't love. Will I ever find happiness? Let's find out. Let's start with what I loved. You know, gonna start with the good things. Number one, the game feel. This game is a blend of RuneScape meets a From Software game, you know, think Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Sekiro, meets Final Fantasy, meets what Ashes of Creation is trying to do. It's a lot of different things. It's a player-run experience and a player-driven game, meaning that's in terms of how the world works and the economy works and all of that. So your social skills are just as important as your combat skills. And actually, I spent the vast majority of my time in the beta harvesting and crafting things, if I'm being honest. I like doing that kind of stuff. It's super relaxing. And in a game like this, there's going to be a heavy need for crafters in this game. Because, again, the world is run by the players. Number two, the control system and the faction wars. I'm going to try and summarize how everything works. I'm probably going to miss a couple things. Every district of the map is controlled by the faction that has the most influence in that zone. Now, even if a zone is controlled by a different faction, you can weaken their control over that zone by increasing your own faction's influence in that zone, by doing just quests in that zone, or by attacking that zone's keep in a massive full-scale PvP war. This is all fueled by who has the best gear and the best economy in that given point of time, which is in turn fueled by the merchants and the crafting guilds. It's this symbolic revolving machine of an economy inside of the game, and it feels so satisfying to be a part of it. Because no matter what you enjoy doing, whether that's going out and bashing people's faces in, fishing, harvesting, crafting, chances are, by doing any of that kind of stuff, you are helping your own faction. It's pretty cool. Also, by doing the town quests, you can improve your own standing within that zone, so that way you can own property, you can lower taxes and trading rates in that zone for your faction, you can increase that faction's defense inside of that zone by upgrading your fortress, and this is all just economy stuff. We're not even talking about higher level PvP, PvE stuff here. This is just all of the faction war stuff and how the town's economies work. And over time, you actually level up the crafting tables and smithies and forges inside that town, and the town property actually gains value based on the systems that are in place inside that town. Like, it's super cool. Number 3, the combat, both in PvE and PvP. Combat is fun, fast-paced, and if you're not careful, it will put you on your ass. It's not the same tab, target, AFK systems of the past MMOs, which, to be fair, have their own merits. But it's clear that Amazon is going for a much more active MMO game here. You have 3 abilities per weapon and 2 weapon slots. So there's a little bit of variety right now, but not that much in this beta as of yet. The servers were pretty laggy, making PvP not great most of the time. But those few times that it did run smoothly, it was fun and challenging. So I'll give them that. In PvE, the combat is simple, but it's fun. It's a little bit high on the how much damage enemies do, and I think that's intentional because, again, they're taking inspiration from Dark Souls, Demon Souls, where damage is just insane. So it makes sense that damage in this game is pretty high, and it makes it fun and challenging. But again, you only have 3 abilities at any given time. So I didn't find anything to be super interesting and super engaging that I was just dedicating all my time into, but I'm going to save that for the negatives. Number 4, world building and exploration. Exploration is a huge plus in this game. Oh yes, this game looks so good. Now, I have a beefy PC. That is the disclaimer. I have heard rumors of it exploding other graphics cards. Maybe that's an optimization thing that they need to look to in the future. This game has plenty of stuff to collect and craft while you're running around, and it's perfect to just drift off to and just escape into that world. Just, perfect. However, this is where we're going to start to get into the negatives of this segment. Number 1, the story. It's your fairly typical MMO storyline, and it's what's the word? Bland? Uninspired? Boring? Yeah, if you were hoping to be regaled with tales that fill your heart with emotion and just sweep you away to a world apart, watch anime instead. That you're not going to get anything interesting out of this story. It's Number 2, the combat limitations that we talked about earlier. With only 3 skills per weapon and only 2 weapon trees available to you, and both of those weapon trees being very small and limited in what they can do, there isn't much variety here. Now, there's a fair amount of weapons, but it's not just a large amount of weapons that you're going, oh my gosh, my eyes are open to the possibilities of what can happen. No, it's pretty basic. Now, granted, this could be just a more stable version of the game that they chose to use for the beta test to just stress test servers, but considering that we're less than a month away from launch, I'm pretty sure this is the version of the game that we're going to be getting. So I really hope that they can implement either more weapons in the future or different ways to handle ability usage and just more ability trees in the future. Because right now, the combat functions and it's functional and it's a fun functional system, but it's not exactly a fun, standout, impressive system as of yet. Hopefully they can get it to that point, but right now, it's a little rough. Number 3, overall content. I know it's only a beta, but again, they need to be continuously adding content to this game as soon as it releases, because right now it's a little bit bare bones. I was kind of surprised at how limited the game was at the current time of the beta. Hopefully by launch it improves, and hopefully they do a lot, and I mean a lot, of support for this game after it comes out. And they're gonna have to do it quickly because they're gonna lose a lot of people within the first couple of months if they don't add on anything new. But I mean, considering this is Amazon we're talking about here, I think they can spare the money and the resources to do that. What are my final thoughts on New World just as a game in general? Not even just the beta, but just as a game concept overall. Well, much like a new relationship, the future of New World is bright and full of promise and hope. But only time will tell if it has a fairy tale ending, or like many successful relationships, will have a few ups and downs, a couple of arguments, but ultimately will end with both parties compromising in the end and working through things together and just being a wonderful, wonderful experience. Or it could just make a bunch of empty promises and never fulfill them. Again, only time will tell right now. But as of right now, for the current price and no subscription fee, I can wholeheartedly say that New World is a fun, fresh MMO that I will be looking to sink a lot of time and dedication into. And I am looking forward to investing into this game's community moving forward. If you guys are interested in playing New World and playing New World on launch with me, click the link down below to join our Discord, where we will be having a launch party. And if there's enough interest into starting our own channel guild, I will also do that as well. And if you just want to come and hang out with my community, press the notification bell down there so that way you can catch me on one of the live streams that I do here on YouTube. But until next time, take care.